If you asked the AI chatbot of your choice to help design a smartphone with the best specification possible, it might come up with something similar to the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, which itself is packed full of AI smarts. After all, there's very little missing from the top Galaxy model, with everything from a stylus to the very latest processor included. Does this mean you shouldn't think twice about buying it? Let's find out. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra embraces what it means to be Ultra, a phone that transcends the smartphone category. It offers more than any other phone and somehow manages to improve upon last year's Ultra in every way. The Galaxy S24 Ultra has better battery life, faster performance, and even better cameras, so you will also pay a bit more for the improvements. The new AI features are the only things that can slow this phone down, except for Samsung's aging and terrible software, which buries every exciting thing under layers upon layers of settings and menus. When you see the Ultra in action, it's worth the price, and some features are downright magical, but there's more room than ever for improvement at the top. The Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra is more expensive at launch than last year's Ultra, and the difference is going to hurt more. The Galaxy S23 Ultra was already packed with features, and there's nothing so big and new in the Galaxy S24 Ultra. It just got a little bit better in a lot of ways. The real value could come down the road thanks to Samsung's promise to deliver 7 years of major Android and security updates. That length of long-term support was unheard of only last year, but now we have 7 years of support for the best Android phones, with Apple lagging behind offering only 5 years of support. Samsung can promise breathlessly, but until we get to year 7, we won't know if it will truly deliver. Apple has literally delivered on the long-term promise a dozen times already across a wide range of iPhones. Google and Samsung not once. There is already reason to be skeptical. Buried in Samsung's latest terms of service is a notice that the current slate of AI features may only remain free for a limited time. Frankly, we have no idea what that means, and it's too early to speculate. But it is weird in a way that seems like Samsung is building legal backdoors to weasel out of expectations. Apple doesn't do that, only time will tell if Samsung holds up. I bought a Galaxy S23 Ultra last year, trading a Galaxy S21 Ultra for it, and I am sad to report that trade-in deals and discounts at launch are not as enticing as they were a year ago. If you are trading up from last year's model, expect to pay hundreds over your trade value. I would still say it's worth making the leap just this once. Older phones are going to be left out of the newest AI features more and more with every update. That means values could plummet the first time Samsung delivers bad news and drops the features built in on the Galaxy S22 Ultra or something even newer. Is this phone worth such a high price? If you are asking that question, you are viewing wrong review. You want the Galaxy S24 Plus, which is probably worth it. This is the Ultra, this is the extreme phone, the one that does what no other phone can do. You can't put a normal price tag on Ultra, it doesn't fit. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is indistinguishable from the Galaxy S23 Ultra, which doesn't mean there are no differences, but rather the changes are inconsequential. The speaker grills are different, the microphones moved a bit, but mostly the new phone looks like the old phone. That's too bad, because while Samsung's Ultra phone oozes a certain refinement, it isn't very interesting at a glance. A deeper inspection is rewarding. The black glass is layers upon layers of metallic paint, which gives the phone an eerie depth, especially in the ghostly natural grey titanium finish. The violet finish is my favorite, with a great contrast against the polished metal. Samsung pays great attention to detail when it comes to color, materials, and finish. Each color has a subtly hued frame that complements the new Gorilla Glass armor pack. The titanium black is all black, while other color options age into warmer frame tones. Apple fans like to point out of the symmetry of their phone as a pinnacle of its design. Frankly, Samsung is more smart than symmetrical. I prefer having power and volume buttons on the same side. It means I don't fill my photo gallery with accidental screenshots every time I grab my phone. Like Apple, Samsung has opted for titanium on the frame this year, but it doesn't make as much difference as it does on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. The Pro Max managed to shed considerable weight this year versus last year, about half an ounce. The Galaxy Ultra, it's a single gram lighter at most. If you have never played with an Ultra, you really need to pick one up and pop the pen. Did you know the S Pen clicks? There is no reason for it. It could just pop out, spring-loaded, but instead the S Pen has a clicky top that is extremely satisfying. Oh, the S Pen is also motion sensing stylus with a Bluetooth camera remote button, but Samsung hasn't neglected the clicky top. Of course, the S Pen isn't just built for fun, it's one of the most surprisingly capable accessories ever. It is as precise as a professional drawing tool, not like a big, clumsy, rubber-tipped stylus that you can buy for an iPhone. It also has Bluetooth built in, so the side button can act as a remote control for other features on your phone, especially the camera. That's right, the Galaxy S24 Ultra ships with a remote camera shutter release, which is an accessory I actually bought to go with my Nikon DSLR. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is flat this year, ending a run of screen curvature that began with the double black diamond slope of the Galaxy Note Edge and suddenly resolved itself into a signature Samsung look that refined and reduced the effect of the bezel around the edges. On the front and back, Galaxy S23 Ultra has gently rounded curves that make the phone feel much nicer to hold. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is more sharp, and though it isn't uncomfortable, it feels conspicuously big. The display on the Galaxy S24 Ultra is excellent, as good as you'd hope to find on a premier smartphone. It's huge, bright and colorful, especially using the vivid color tone option. There are plenty of adaptations for this display, including adaptive brightness and color tones that measure ambient lighting and adjust the display to look its best. In bright outdoor light, the display can boost to a stunning 2600 nits, which isn't quite the brightest you can find, but you won't need any brighter. Even more interesting might be the extra dim option. The Galaxy S24 Ultra can maintain good color fidelity even down at 1 nit of brightness. That's dim enough that you could almost check your messages in a movie theater, but then you'd be an extra dim ultra jerk, but you could. There is an always on display mode, but Samsung also still makes its unique S View cases, which provide a small window for time, weather and notifications peeping through a wallet cover case. It's a very cool case feature that Samsung never abandoned, even if we haven't checked them out for a while. Could the Galaxy S24 Ultra display be any better? Absolutely. There are phone displays that can reach 144Hz refresh rate too, that may be faster than a human eye can actually see. It would be nice to Samsung to give up the fight against Dolby Vision on its phone displays and TV sets. If you watch a lot of Netflix shows, looks better when you compare a display with Dolby Vision against a display without. It seems like a silly omission for Samsung not to support Dolby's HDR video standard when it supports Dolby Audio. It has become abundantly clear that Samsung is focused entirely on hardware and has no interest in improving its software. The software on the Galaxy S24 Ultra is terrible and One UI is becoming unusable. Even the simplest features are bogged down with options and menus, and Samsung can't seem to make a single decision about what's best for its users. I am going to give Samsung a year to fix its software problems, though I suspect it will take 2 years or more to dig out of the current mess. Everything that was wrong with Samsung software has gotten worse, and the problems infect every new edition like a disease. The Galaxy S24 Ultra is loaded with features, but where do you find them? Where do you find the new AI translation tools or set up the AI feature that rewrites your text messages? Where do you turn an AI to edit photos or AI to summarize a web page? All in the same place, sadly. All of the new Samsung Galaxy AI features are buried in settings, and they are not at the surface. there are 22 different options in the settings menu. Option 16 of 22 is advanced features. Tap on this, you will find advanced intelligence, which isn't actually what AI standards for, is it? In any case, that's where Samsung has hidden all the cool new features for its flagship smartphone under the 16th setting option 3 layers down. I have talked to Samsung about this and they recognize that it's a problem. Features are hidden, everything gets buried in settings, as if that is a place we expect to find features as disparate as wireless power sharing, parental controls for children, and always on display widgets. In a feeble attempt to inform users about everything the phone can do, the Galaxy S24 Ultra will occasionally bubble up messages and suggestions for things to try. Sadly, Samsung phones are overloaded with messages and suggestions. Galaxy phones will infamously serve you an advertisement on your brand new Galaxy phone, imploring you to buy that brand new Galaxy phone. That's not how you educate people. Take it from me, a former high school teacher, if you simply tell your users about a new feature once, you haven't taught them to use it. Samsung needs to take a big step back and figure out how to encourage users to try features they will enjoy. Samsung also needs to remove the features that aren't being used and hide the ones that don't need to be visible. As for the new AI features, they are a mixed bag of amazing magic and useless doggerel. If you get a chance to use the AI translation on a phone call, it's like science fiction. It feels like you have stuck a babblefish into your ear and you are living in a fantasy future. Samsung could write "Don't panic" on the phone and ship it with a towel. Other AI features are useful, but only to a point. The AI writing style feature can adapt your text messages to a variety of different styles, including a professional tone and more playful messages, replete with emojis and hashtags. In practice, the differences were not very useful, and I mostly just stuck with what I had written. Samsung also overpromised on this feature. I distinctly remember reps saying the phone would convert my words to Shakespeare, but I have seen nothing like this on my S24 Ultra. The Galaxy S23 Ultra was our overall best camera phone of last year, so rumors that Samsung would be dropping the optical zoom from 10x to 5x set off a flurry of concern. The 10x zoom was the standout feature on the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Aside from the 200 megapixel sensor, the two zoom lenses, the 100x digital astrophotography, the AI image enhancements, and everything else the phone could do. Still, it's odd for Samsung to take a step backwards, especially where specs are concerned. Let's start with the Galaxy S24 Ultra's 5x zoom lens. Samsung has not taken a step backwards, more a step sideways. The Galaxy S24 Ultra still has the best zoom camera you can find on a smartphone. It's better than the Galaxy S23 Ultra's 10x zoom, and it's much better than the 5x zoom you will find on the iPhone 15 Pro Max most of the time, like when you are really using the zoom to its full extent. When you zoom in to 10x or even 100x, the Galaxy S24 Ultra produces images with better color and much better dynamic range than the Galaxy S23 Ultra. Where the older camera made images look flat, you will see more depth and shadow with the Galaxy S24 Ultra. What you won't see is plenty of detail. Samsung has sacrificed the fine details in images for better overall quality. It's good trade. Those 10x and 100x zoom images from the S23 Ultra look terrible. Sure, you could make out some details, but they are mixed with noise and blur like a virtual chopped salad. On the Galaxy S24 Ultra, you won't see as much, but you will be happier sharing those photos because they actually look like good pictures rather than police evidence. Check out some camera sample from Galaxy S24 Ultra and some comparison between Galaxy S24 Ultra, S23 Ultra or iPhone 15 Pro Max. A refreshed design does not make a true upgrade. New features, new technology, and lifestyle enhancing alternations do. And the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra has all of these along with seemingly every other features or specification bump you could want from a new phone. Not only is it worth buying if you don't already own a Galaxy Ultra phone, I'd even say it's worth buying if you have a Galaxy S23 Ultra. It's really that good. Obviously, you don't need to upgrade your Galaxy S23 Ultra, but it's heartening to discover Samsung hasn't just sent out a vogue refresh of its most expensive non-folding phone this year, which is really what it did with the Galaxy Z Fold 5 over the Galaxy Z Fold 4. The Galaxy AI stuff is being pushed hard, and while some of it is worth your time, it's not a reason to choose the Galaxy S24 Ultra on its own. It's a combination of all its parts, from the amazing battery life to the genuinely improved camera, that makes it a must-buy. Although I say it's even worth an upgrade from the year-old Galaxy S23 Ultra, I do think you should mostly go into the Galaxy S24 Ultra with the intention of keeping it for years. Quite apart from Samsung's efforts to use more recycled materials, the software update commitment, the sheer ability of the device, and the price bump all shout, keep me in all. Honestly, I don't think you will tire of the Galaxy S24 Ultra or reach its full potential anytime soon. Buy it and keep hold of it, as you simply can't do much better. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.